Morning, everybody. It's Big Country coming at you today, Wednesday, December 27th, I think. A couple days after Christmas. I hope that you had a good Christmas. Hope Santa Claus treated you well. Just wanted to come at you with a quick video today. Do me a favor, if you would, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and the little bell there, let you know whenever I drop a video. I'm going to try to do some more videos and share some things with people just about life in general. I guess maybe this will be an intro video for myself for Big Country Trucking channel. Let you know just a little bit of my background and how I got into trucking. So, okay, let's get right at it. Once again, if you would, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell. That way you'll know when I put up a new video. But I grew up in a blue-collar home. My father was a welder and a machinist, and I spent my childhood just doing manual labor. We were like part-time loggers on the weekends, and I worked on farms. Got my first job when I was 12 years old, working on a farm, putting hay up during the summer. And after that, I got into, once I became an adult, I got into construction. And I owned a construction company for about 20 years, general contracting company. And I also was a pastor. That's right, I was a pastor. I pastored 2 churches in New York, and I was also an assistant pastor in Pennsylvania. I pastored for, I think, 20 years also altogether in ministry. 2009, I had my construction company, and I closed it down. The recession was just crushing me. So I decided to close down the construction company. While at the same time, I had some personal things in my life that I had to deal with. And in order to do that, I had to step down from the ministry at that time and deal with some personal issues. So I know what it's like to live life. I know what it's like to screw up. I know what it's like to have to get back on track. And I know what it's like to make mistakes and put your life together. That's part of what I want for this YouTube channel. It's not just about trucking, it's about life. Because I really believe I have, just some insight and experience that I can share that will benefit you and will help you. So I'll try to go live. I've been trying to figure out how to go live, and I can't quite figure it out yet, but I'll get it. How to go live on YouTube and, just take questions from people and just talk with people, man. It's about life. We're living life together. That's all it is. Life's a journey. And one thing I found out is, we just need good friends on our side to help us through this journey. So I want to try to be one of those good friends to you. I do have a ministry in the church I attend. I do still do some ministry. I do some preaching on the side from time to time. And I'm the men's ministries director at our church. And I've been helping some men that are struggling with pornography and things like that. Just giving them some advice and helping them walk through their mistakes and try to, put some things back together. So, my life's an open book. I'm not hiding nothing. I have nothing to hide from you. So, it's just the way it is. That's the way I am. I'm a straight up guy, just straight up. And I want to be straight up about life, straight up about trucking, straight up about family. That's what I'm about. I'm a family man. I'm a Christian, and I'm a patriot. I love my country, I love my God, and I love my family. And those are the 3 things I live for. It's 2009, getting back to it, I sold my construction company. Just wasn't spending more money to try to stay open than what I was making. So my wife and I had a discussion. So it was time to stop, close that up. Closed it up, let my guys go, which was the hardest thing to do. Having to tell my guys, that we were closing. And sold off a bunch of my equipment and my tools. And decided, well, what am I going to do? What do I want to do? I'm not the kind of guy that can work in a department store or an office. I've worked outside my whole life. I've done, just physical labor my whole life. And that's the way I'm made. That's the kind of person I am. So I decided to go into trucking. So I went to trucking school. got out of trucking school and went into trucking. Got my first trucking job and was over the road, regional over the road for a few months, and then I got some local work, and now I'm an owner operator. Been an owner operator since October of 2016, late October, and that's what I'm doing now. So that's kind of my background, my story, how I got into trucking. And so I just want to talk about that just for a minute. Talk about trucking for a minute. Because trucking, I'm going to be honest with you. I've had some companies I worked for. They were just awful. They were awful. Didn't pay me nothing. Barely could make it. I was away from home. And so, trucking can be a field where you can be taken advantage of, but it can also be very rewarding. I've been in trucking now since late October 2009. It's the end of 2017. So it's just a little over almost 8, a little over 7 years, was 9, a little over 8 years, going on my 9th year, and the last 5, 6 years, the first couple years were off. They really were. They were just, companies didn't pay me nothing. I had one company I was with. I was working 16 hours a day, 5 days a week, and if I was bringing home $500, that was a lot. It was just ridiculous, just crazy. So don't feel loyal to a company. I want to tell you right now, your success is totally up to you, man. Don't feel loyal to a company. Let me see if I can close this curtain and get some of that. Yeah, it's not going to work either. So I can move this. Just trying to get rid of that glare. Let me see here. Let me pull this curtain. Just hold on a second. Sorry about that. Nope, wrong button. Bear it with you. That gonna work? I'm gonna turn the light on now. I don't know if that's any better. So yeah, anyway, trucking, you really got to find your space. You got to find, other guys saying you got to find your lane, and that's true. You got to find out what you like, and but you also got to find a place where they're going to pay you. They're going to pay you a decent wage to do your job. You should not be out there away from your family and coming home with a few $100. It's not right. Number one. So, man, if you got to find 5 different companies, you go ahead and do it. But let me tell you this. Your resume needs to look good, though. So do your research first before you go to someplace. Do your research. Find out what they're paying. Find out if you're going to be able to make money doing it. If it's going to supply your needs. If it's going to meet the needs that you have for your family. So you're not jumping back and forth from one place to another every few months, because that's not going to look good on your resume. It's not going to look good for your credit when you're trying to get a loan at the bank for something, or it just won't. Over the long term, it's not going to look good. So find some place and do your research. Find a place and stick there for a while, and you'll be okay. You'll be all right. And I decided in 2016. I was going to go on my own. I had a heart attack in October 2016 or 15, yeah, 2015, was it? October 15. This is 2017. Yeah, I believe it was October 2015. I had a heart attack and actually went cardiac arrest. If I hadn't been in the ambulance, I wouldn't be here today. So that's another story. But I was happened to be the right people at the right time, and it all worked out. And I'm still here. Two years later, but because of that, I got fired from the place I was at a few months later, and they said it was for one reason or another. I had the year before I had the safety award, no accidents. That year I had no accidents, no incidences, and I supposedly had bumped into a car in a parking lot, which I really don't think I did. Uh, I was the kind of driver, if I did make a mistake, if I did do something, I would report it, because I'd get fired if I didn't. So anyway, apparently, it was reported I backed into a car and I didn't report it, and they let me go. Now, I know they let me go because I was a risk to them. I'd had a heart attack at work. Was in the process of having a heart attack while I was driving, and so they let me go. That began my process at that point of saying, you know what, I'm not going to keep trying. I just get established somewhere, and something happens. You know how these big corporations are. You're not a person. They'll let you go for any reason. You've been there long enough. You've got your vacation and your tenure and all that stuff, and then you start all over again after 3 or 4 years. So I just got tired of it, and I've been wanting to work for myself again anyway. So I took some time and got into business for myself, and it's been very rewarding. Trucking can be very rewarding. It is a rewarding career. You got to work hard. You got to be self-motivated. You can't be lazy. You can't expect someone else to do your work for you. Life isn't like that no matter what you're doing anyway. It's in any business, any career you have. You tell me anybody who's very successful, some it was handed to them, family business, whatever. But the majority of your people out there that have climbed up that ladder, if you will, and they're successful in whatever arena they're in, it's because they worked hard. No one's going to give you nothing. No one's going to hand you anything in life. I found that out, and you got to go after it, man. You got to get it. You got to go after it, and you got to stay after it. Owning my own truck, man, I found out one repair can wipe out your savings account. You can't just let up. You can't sit back on your few thousand you might have in a savings account and say, well, I'm comfortable, I'm safe, I'm going to back off the pedal here a little bit and get lazy for the next 6 months. You just can't be that way. You got to get after it. But trucking is a good career. It really is. And right now, with our economy, freight is up, freight rates are up, freight itself, the volume of freight is up, and the truck to load ratio, the load is low high, compared to the trucks that can haul the freight. That's why, freight is pretty good in a lot of areas. Some areas, it's not, probably never will be, just because of like Florida, there's not a whole lot of manufacturing in Florida. So mostly all retired sunshiny people. But, I don't want to just ramble on, but, go out and get it, man. Grab it by the horns. Don't let fear stop you. Fear held me back for a few years. I wanted to do this a lot longer than I did, but I kind of, just didn't go after it. Number one, I didn't have the financial resources yet, which you need to have. And number two, I just, I was scared to do it, I had one business I had to close because of lack of work, and that put me in a really bad financial bind for quite a long time. I had to dig out of that, and I was just scared to make the jump, and just decided I wasn't going to let what people say. And let me talk about that a minute. I had people tell me when I was talking to them, other truck drivers, guys that have failed being owner operators, man, you're an idiot, you're a fool, you won't make it, it's too tough, it's expensive, blah blah blah, and I got to the point I just say, I'm going to let them guys, I will not let them guys dictate my future. People fail for a lot of reasons. Some of the reasons people fail at business is because they're not good business people. Truck driving, for instance, that's what I am. That's what we're talking about. You might be able to drive a truck. You might be the best truck driver in your company, in your area. You might have won, the National Tractor Trailer Skills Test, whatever they call that thing. Doesn't mean you're going to be a good businessman, a good businesswoman. As an owner-operator, driving the truck is the least amount of talent you're going to have. You're going to have to be a good business person. You have to research. You're going to have to know what you want to haul. You're going to have to do market research. You're going to have to understand numbers, understand bookwork. If you're if you have your own authority, you've got to understand how to work with customers, find customers, how to hold those customers, how to sell yourself, how to market yourself. I don't have my own authority. I might at some point. I don't right now. I'm contracted on to a company. Um, so I don't have that side of it at this point. I might not. It just depends. I haven't decided. But I got to know my cost per mile. I got to know what I'm making. I got to know if I'm going to make money this month. I got to know that I've got enough money set aside for maintenance. I've got to know that I've got my taxes all set and correct. No one does that for me. That's up to me. I got to make sure I'm paying my quarterly taxes to the government. I've got to make sure my IFTA is getting paid. I've got to make sure all these things. The truck in the business is totally my responsibility. The company I'm contracted to, they have nothing to do with my business or my truck. They provide the freight. I deliver their freight. They have my truck. I have their freight. I say they have my truck. My truck is contracted to them, but they have no say in my truck or anything like that. So that's good for me. I like that. I don't have to go where I don't want to go. I don't have to let someone else drive my truck. None of that stuff. So I guess what I want to try to get over to you, try to impart into your heart today, or to your knowledge, to your understanding, is we're climbing up to 2018 in just a few more days, and if you are looking to better yourself, you can. It doesn't matter if you're in trucking or in construction, working in an office, a nurse, medical field, if you're an auto mechanic. Just learn all you can about your business, your profession, what you do. Learn all you can. Advance yourself. Get some more training, more education. If you are a mechanic, maybe learn some more about the computer side of things, the diagnostics side of things. Make yourself more valuable. If you want to get into truck driving, go to a trucking school, get enrolled, learn everything you can. Go to a good carrier that's going to teach you. You're not going to make that much in the beginning. You're just not. These big carriers will hire people, not just kids. They'll hire people right out of these trucking schools and pay you nothing for the first year. You got to accept that. You got to be in a financial place to be able to do that. And you got to accept, your first year, you're probably not going to make a whole lot of money, but you're going to be able to learn. You're going to learn the lanes. You're going to learn about the business. And then after that, go on with a company that's going to pay you more. If this company that you might be with your first time around doesn't want to increase your pay, you'll have a year's experience under your belt. You'll be much more employable. Do your research, though. Don't just hop. Don't be a hopper. Don't go from one company to the next every 5-6 months. It does not look good on your resume. Just do your research. Make sure you can afford it before you sign on with somebody. Make sure it's compatible to your lifestyle and to your way of life, getting home if you need to, and that type of thing. But that's a little bit about myself, a little bit about background about who I am. If I'm going to have a channel, I want you to know who I am. I'm 48 years old, married, 27 years, 2 boys. I got a son who's 17, he's graduating high school this year and getting ready to go to college. I got another son who's 13, going to be 14 in a couple months. He's graduating middle school, going into high school. Dog lover, love dogs, I love the outdoors. I'm a hunter, a fisherman. I enjoy camping. I just love adventure, and I love what I do. I love driving truck. I love being in this business. It could be a very rewarding business, but you got to do your homework. You got to understand it. So anyway, that's a little bit about me and a little bit about my background and who I am. This is Big Country. You're watching Big Country Trucking. Nice talking to you. Thanks for watching. I know there's a lot of YouTube stuff out there, and you are taking time out to watch this channel. Once again, If you're still watching to the end, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell. That way you'll know when I'm dropping some videos. I'm going to try to chronicle just the life of an owner-operator and be an encouragement to you. And just in life in general, spiritual things if you want it. I'm not going to shove anything down people's throats, although I could. It's my own channel. But I'm not like that, But if you want to know more about God, about spiritual things, email me, hit me up. That's fine. That's cool. I'll respond. Just in life in general, you having struggles? Believe me, I was a pastor for 20 years. I've counseled countless people, countless marriages, countless individuals, for many things, and even had to get my own life straightened out after years of struggling with a certain sin in my life. But thank God, God is good, and He forgives, and He loves us, and He keeps us moving forward. So I just hope I can be an encouragement to you on this channel, and just help you with trucking, help you with life. I want to make a disclaimer right now. I am not an expert about trucking. I've been in the business just a little over 8 years, an owner-operator for a little over a year. I am not an expert, and I don't claim to be. If I don't have an answer for something, I won't even try. I won't give you an answer, because that wouldn't be right. Wouldn't give you an answer if I'm not sure of it myself. But that's a great thing about the internet. You need an answer for something, it's just a few keystrokes away, and you can get good information on just about anything. So I'm signing off here now. Thanks for watching again. I appreciate it, and we'll be coming back at you again soon. This is Life from the Driver's Seat, Big Country Trucking. This is Big Country. Have yourself a good day.